Looking at that wacky NFC Central, the Green Bay Packers walked into a windy, cold, weathery Denver area that was just absolutely filled with Bronco fever and AFC West title hopes. Meanwhile, the Green Bay Packers knew they had to go in and handle their business, knowing that the Bears were on the verge of taking over. But they couldn't worry about what was going on there. Being that Bo Nix and the Denver Broncos are sitting on an 11-2 record, and surprisingly, one of the best marks in the NFL. And the Green Bay Packers walked in with plans to get pressure on the young second-year quarterback, hoping that they would be able to shake him a little bit. Unfortunately, that didn't work out too well, as Bo Nix was able to will his team to a 34-26 victory. Now, of course, the big news in this game was that the Packers lost their star pass rusher, Michael Parsons, to a torn ACL. But that failed in comparison to the loss that this game meant, as they fell behind deeper in a hole in the NFC North. Now, they're ahead of the Detroit Lions, which, as I said before, are in serious trouble when it comes to the wild card. But let's get into it. As Jordan Love was 24 of 40, 276 yards, had a touchdown, but he had 2 interceptions. Also, a major story here was that they lost star wide receiver Christian Watson to what appeared to be a shoulder injury. That adds insult to injury, as you saw that the Denver Broncos, on the other hand, as Bo Nix was able to throw for 302 and 4 touchdowns, no interception. And they got no pressure on him, especially after Michael Parsons left this game. But they still managed to keep this game rather interesting, despite how lopsided it was with Jordan Love's 2 interceptions in this game. You would have thought with this game the way it was. Now, in my opinion, these 2 interceptions were instrumental in Denver getting the win and Green Bay losing this game. So, I'm not saying that Denver escaped this game, but I am saying that Jordan Love's got to take better care of the football. You cannot be out there, being reckless in a situation like this, especially out there in Denver. Denver's got some ball hawks on that defense, and of course one of them being Pat Surtain, who picked up one. But here's the question I have to ask. Why did you give up on the run? You had 20 carries for 115 yards. That's a 5-yard average, and Josh Jacobs himself had 73 yards on the ground. I did not understand the logic here. You were up 16-14 at the half. I did not understand why you went away from running the football. That just did not comprehend with me. I did not understand that logic. And it's not like the Broncos ran away from you. And not taking anything away from the Denver Broncos, but they did not run the ball well. Green Bay did a great job balling up this running game. Now, you look at R.J. Harvey, had 65 yards on the ground and a score. But in total, 31 carries, 89 yards. Good job by Green Bay defense. You have to do a better job running the football. You cannot go away from what you do best. You put this on the back of Jordan Love, and it did not work out well. Now, I'm not saying Jordan Love's a bad QB. I don't want anybody walking away from here. And I'm not saying Denver's defense is not good. But realistically, Green Bay, run the ball. I mean, it's common sense. When you got your quarterback averaging almost 10 yards a carry, and you got 2 backs averaging over 5 yards. Chris Brooks had 2 carries for 10 yards. That's 5 yards a total. Josh Jacobs had 12 carries for 73. He averaged over 6.1 yards a carry. What are you doing? There is no way I'm not running this football. And I know people are going to say, well, he had a 40-yarder. The rest was 11.33. Guess what? 3.3 yards a total. So? That's still pretty good. Run it till they stop it. And then, of course, Jordan Love had his feet to work. He had 9.7. See, a lot of the issue I see with people that play the Broncos is you give up on the run because they stop it 2 or 3 times. And when you look over at the Broncos, they ran it to failure. They kept running it. And what I like about what Sean Payton is doing, he's doing different things. He gives you different things to look at. When you see the teams that are confident in running the football, they may not run it effectively, but they give you different looks. I'm not even a Sean Payton fan, but how he game planned this game is why I believe that Bo Nix is being successful. To me, I didn't see Bo Nix as being anywhere near on this level. But with a guy like Sean Payton who understands what his strengths are, what he can do to bring out the best in Bo Nix. Now, I'm not going to be a hater because Bo Nix is looking fabulous. He's looking really good. I mean, here you go. I sat Cortland Sutton on the bench this week.
Stupid. Dumb shit. Dumb shit. Dumb shit.
I know. 7 catches, 113 yards, and a touchdown. That's almost 30 fantasy points, y'all, I had sitting on the bench. Once again, Troy Franklin showing why he should have been picked where he was last year. And this is why I say, fans, don't judge a rookie by his rookie year, or don't judge a rookie having a sensational rookie season and then he comes back and gets in a slump the next year. Either it's going to be they've got film on him, or the opposing team's got the wrong film and he's being successful this year. But per usual, we're looking at this Denver Bronco team that is just absolutely blowing it up right now. And arguably, before the Patriots lost their game, they were in a dead heat for that number 1 spot in the AFC playoffs. But as it sits, Denver is sitting alone with that loss, and then Green Bay with that win, by the Denver Broncos in that loss. But as for Green Bay, they've got to regroup, try to figure out how to get back in this thing with 3 games left and possibly their best player on the sideline for the rest of the season, and hopefully their best offensive player next to Jordan Love possibly due for a couple of weeks with their division leader still on tap.